This little guy lasted 17 hours on its first charge. I was floored. 17 hours. Hello, this is Blueprint by Adam Hurly. I have been a grooming journalist since 2013, and Blueprint is where I put all of my experiences and expertise in one place for you. In this video, I want to share with you the absolute best beard trimmer that you can buy right now. And coincidentally, the second, third, and fourth best trimmer, most of those are from the same maker. One big disclaimer for this video is that as a grooming journalist, I haven't paid for anything that is featured in this video, but none of it is sponsored either. All right, let's get on with it. I am gonna start with the best because that's what you're all here for. And without further ado, it is from Philips Norelco. This is their Multigroom 9000, which they recently renamed to the all-in-one trimmer 9000 series. There are 4 different series under Philips Norelco for this device. There's the 3000, 5000, 7000, and this is the 9000. We're actually going to go over all of them in this video. One of them I think you can ignore, but the other 3 are absolutely fantastic. You can go check the receipts on this. I have been loving this product for a long time. The most impressive thing to me about this device is its customization, and that's in 2 different ways. For one, you have an incredible range of trimming heads that you can put on it, specifically the detailing heads, all the way down to a little fine-tooth snipper that can get under the nose here, or, you know, I like to trim the bridge of my mustache between that and the beard. It looks something like this. And with the 9000 model specifically, you can also get this foil head shaver attachment, which then allows me to go in and really trim it down basically to a nothingness so that it looks like the facial hair was drawn on that way a little more cleanly than if I just were to trim it. So with those 2 things, I'm able to detail this a lot of different ways. I typically do wear my facial hair short and sort of like this, but I use this device religiously. I'm using it every day or 2 because I want to keep that stubble around the perimeter down to basically a 0. So I'm deploying this little foil head shaver a ton. It's that precision that I really, really love about this device. Now, the other thing I love about the customization that this one offers is if you attach the standard trimming head, you can get up to 19 different trimming settings. There's the one without any guard on it. You can then attach this minutia guard that allows you to adjust things in 0.2 millimeter increments so that you can get from 1 millimeter up to a 3. And at this length, those fine details can make a lot of difference, especially if you're crafting a specific facial hairstyle. You start to lose the need for that sort of minutia once you get past 3, I feel like, which is perfect for this device because then you can just attach on the guard that gets you from 3 to 7 millimeters. Now, you can also swap out this one for the T-blade trimmer, and this is going to help you draw really clean lines, maybe the neckline, maybe you're doing a lineup, maybe you just want to have a neat perimeter. I find the T-blade a lot easier for getting the mustache hairs more uniformly as they hang over the lip. And then with the T-blade one, you can attach some of these bigger guards, and those do start as low as a 2, but they can graduate from a 4 to a 9 to a 12 to a 16 millimeter. So even though in theory you can use this to cut your hair, typically I wouldn't tell somebody to use a beard trimmer to cut their head hair. However, I did put this device to a test also in a Forbes article, and a barber that I absolutely trust, she put this exact device to a test, used it as a hair clipper, and it was one of her absolute favorites. This is probably the one that she would use most readily of the at-home hair clippers that aren't professional level barber grade, which is what she would prefer to use. She would prefer something professional, but if she were to be cutting her own hair at home, she said that this was the tool she would very, very likely choose. And I was really impressed by that. So I mean, this thing has muscle enough that you can cut through head hair, which takes a lot more muscle in a device than you would need in a beard trimmer. And I can't say that about a lot of beard trimmers. So this truly is an all-in-one device. Additional attachments that are worth mentioning, they do have an eyebrow trimmer and 2 different bodyguard trimmers if you want to have designated lengths for your body hair trimming. These are in 3 and 5 millimeter increments. One attachment that is great is the nose hair trimmer or ear hair trimmer if you need it for that too. And then the body hair shaver too. This is a fantastic add-on. This is reminiscent of other Philips devices, the shaver that they have on those. This is specific to the 9000 model. A lot of these are on the lower models as well. I will get into that when I move through the list. But if you want either of the shaving heads, this one, or the dedicated foil shaver head, you have to stick with the 9000 model. The other thing that is so impressive about this is its battery life. The brand will only advertise 6 hours of battery. I guess that's just their safe number they're going with. But the first time I plugged it in and tested it for Forbes, I was already using it, but I called in a newer model just because there were some additional heads that they were offering since my last device had come in a few years earlier. But I have been using this as my dedicated trimmer for about 4 or 5 years now. And when this new one arrived a little over a year ago, and I plugged it in and charged it to full battery for the first time, then I had to like drain all the batteries just to test the runtime on a full charge. And this one, I kid you not, lasted 17 hours. I was checking on it every 5 or 10 minutes. Finally, I had to just shut it off for the day and start the next day because I had to go to bed. This thing has so much endurance. I think we've only charged it ourselves in this house with 2 people using it multiple times a week. I think we've only charged it in the last year, probably like once or twice. I'm not joking. You do not have to bring the charger with you on vacation. And for that 17-hour charge, it only takes about 3 hours to charge in order to get that extremely long charge time. So to me, that is one of the best ratios your money can buy. If you just need a quick charge, should it for some reason run out of battery on you, juicing it up for 5 minutes will probably last you an extra month. The blades are self-sharpening on this, so there's not really a lot of upkeep. You don't have to be oiling it. You don't have to do a lot in terms of maintenance. It is fully waterproof, so you could use it in the shower if you want. This stainless steel body is so durable. It's relatively lightweight, but you can still feel, for some reason, you can just like feel its strength, I guess, and its muscle, especially compared to the other models as you step down. Also, the 9000 model comes with this hard shell carrying case. It has an 8-year warranty. I don't think you're going to need that warranty. That's probably only going to cover you if it's like a lemon right out of the box, in which case you can return it right away, no problems. I just think that there is nothing right now that is exceeding this. I feel like I'm really cheesing out over a grooming device. I mean, if someone's going to cheese out, I would hope it would be me with my job, but you could tell I absolutely adore this beard trimmer. There are not a lot of bad things I could say about it. So yeah, I love it above all else. Right now, you can get it in the $80 to $90 range. The price may fluctuate based on demand, and sometimes they roll out newer models with the same 9000 series label on them, and they might have additional attachments, which then changes the pricing, but that's about the range that you can find it for. There's one that comes close, and I'll get to that at the end of this video, but I do think this is the best in show. We also gave it one of the inaugural Blue Ribbon Awards from Blueprint by Adam Hurly. It is just one of the absolute best grooming devices. So if you've made it this far, thank you. There is also a link down below for the newsletter that I put out through Blueprint by Adam Hurly. This is where I put in all the best new products I'm testing. I'm talking with experts. I'm giving you advice there. So I would appreciate if you would subscribe to that newsletter in the link below, or you can write grooming.tips into your web browser. You'll find it there too. And while you're at it, if you like this video so far, why don't you give it a thumbs up? Why don't you subscribe to the channel for more content? Okay, now don't worry, I'm not going to get as in-depth with all these other devices as I did with the 9000, because I do think that they're all a little bit derivative of that one. You can save money if you don't want all of the features that that one offers. However, it's easy now to say what these ones lack compared to the models above them. First, the 7000. Just for showcase again, here's the 9000 with the shaver on it. Here's the 7000 with the standard trimmer on it. You won't get the shavers with the 7000. I'm feeling that they're relatively similar. I do know that this one has slightly less battery life. That's probably the main difference, but you still have the really solid stainless steel shell. It's still wet and dry use. So remember, there's no shaving with this one, but in terms of trimming, you get all the same lengths that the 9000 offers you. So already you might just consider using the 7000 model if you don't need those shaving features. For me, the most clutch thing about this is you do get the 2 different attachments that allow you that minutia with trimming and the 3 to 7 millimeter upgrade. You also have the little trimmer tooth that allows you to do that detail snipping that you might need to do. This one, for the record, is also really good if you do see like a really long eyebrow and you can coach it up. It's really easy just to like zap it away if you need to. All of the other attachments and guards are relatively similar to the 9000, so I'm not going to get too far into them there. Other things, you only get a 6-year warranty with this. Again, I don't think the warranty is really going to matter for most people. If it's a lemon, then you're going to notice that relatively quickly, and you'll be able to exchange it within the exchange period, I'm sure, of Amazon or Best Buy or wherever you buy it. And then the runtime drops to a reported 5 hours compared to 6. Again, that's just what the brands are reporting. I haven't tested the exact battery life of these ones like I did with the 9000. I think the fact that that one was 17 hours really like put me off from testing these other ones. But if I got 17 hours out of a promised 6, I imagine the promised 5 of this device is still going to produce some really great results. The charge time on this one is only about 2 hours, which is also great in terms of ratio. A 2-hour charge for at least a 5-hour runtime. Incredible. Plugging it in for 5 minutes will give you well beyond that 5 minutes of runtime should it run out of juice and you just need to breathe life into it really quickly. One downside of the 7000 is that you do lose the hard shell case. That might be neither here nor there for most people. I guess I like the case, but if you never told me that it was an option in the first place, I don't know if I would miss it. So the price difference right now between the 9000 and the 7000 is like 30 bucks. So you can get most of this stuff for 2/3 of the cost of the 9000. I think that's a really great value. If you don't need that fine tuning foil shaver or the hard shell case, or those 2 extra years warranty or whatnot, maybe the 7000 is actually your best buy. I still think that the 9000 has enough additional benefits that make it the best in class, and I do feel like for a lot of people that additional $20 or $30 might not be a huge difference for them for a device that will probably last 5 or 6 or 7 or even 10 years. You make the call. This is a great buy still. Okay, so here is the 5000. You can now see that it's definitely different from the others before it. You do lose the stainless steel shell. This one is still a wet and dry shaver, so that's great. Now with this one, unfortunately, you do lose that minutia adjustment trimmer head that I really, really love. That attachment guard that helps you just seamlessly move from one length to the other, in those 0.2 millimeter increments. Probably a couple days worth of facial hair growth. But again, if you are minding small details around the face, those details can matter. And it's the same reason that people who shave a lot will shave maybe every day, because by 5 o'clock, suddenly they're showing stubble. If you do have a short enough style, those details do matter. I don't know if the 5000 would necessarily be for you. For that reason, it's not really for me. You do have individual attachments that you can then swap out instead. You have a 1 millimeter guard and a 2 millimeter guard. You have the 3 to 7 one as you did with the other devices. You still get the toothy trimmer that helps you mind those smaller details. You do get a lot of the different hair clipping guards as you do with the other device. You can swap the standard trimmer out for the T-blade to keep drawing those clean lines. However, one thing that's noticeably different is the strength in this trimmer. I would say for its size and value, it's still really strong. I mean, that's something you're always going to rely on Philips Norelco for. However, I don't think I would use this one as a hair clipper. I mean, I'm not the type to use any devices that aren't designated hair clippers as a hair clipper. However, to the point that my barber said that the 9000 was one of the best at-home hair clippers you could own, I don't know that I would say that about the 5000. I would guess that it holds true for the 7000, just given the muscle that that device has, but this does feel like an actual step down from those other two. This one has just shy of a 3-hour reported runtime. Again, I have not tested that specifically. To me, a 3-hour runtime is fantastic on its own, so the fact that it probably is actually higher than that number, especially right out of the box, is icing on the cake. One thing that's really great about this one though is the charge time is only about 70 minutes. So the fact that you get a good 3-hour runtime on just over an hour's charge is still an incredible ratio, better than most devices in this category are going to give you. And this one comes with a 5-year warranty out of the box. It's around $40 right now, again, compared to $60 for the 7000 series and $90 for the 9000 series. I think it's still a really great value. This would be a fantastic first trimmer for most people. If you don't need the minutia customization that one trimmer head gives you, I think you can still do a great deal of work with this one. So if you're looking for a device that doesn't offer 100% of the customization that you might need, but maybe just like 90% of it, I mean, come on. This is a fantastic device by most measures. It's just that it's going up against its two siblings that are technically better than it. Oh, and you do step down in terms of the bag. They really do you dirty as you step down through the ranks here. If you have your own DOP kit for it, maybe that doesn't matter anyway. Okay, now full disclosure, I don't own the Philips Norelco 3000. I don't feel like I need to own it. There's a lot of reasons. For one, it's a really inefficient device compared to the others. You have to attach each individual guard. There's no automatic dial or minutia adjustments. You can only get 7 length settings, whereas the best 2 devices give you up to 19. It also takes 8 hours to charge, and it only has a 60-minute runtime. That's 8 to 1 in favor of the charge. As a plus, you do get that little precision trimmer that I love so much, as well as the nose hair trimmer. But all this is 20 bucks with a 2-year warranty out of the box. Look, I know that money might be an issue for some individuals in terms of what they can purchase, but I do think that you will get a great value from the 5,000 as opposed to the 3,000. I think the 5,000 will last you more than twice as long. And on top of that, I think you're also going to just enjoy the benefits of never having to charge it overnight. The customization you're going to get out of the 5,000 and above is fantastic. It is rinsable, but it's not waterproof. I just think that if you can manage to go for the $40 5000 series, it was definitely worth the upgrade here. There is one device that, in my opinion, can go head to head with the Multigroom 9000. So I do want to shout it out. It is from Braun. It is their 13-in-1 Series 9 trimmer. Now, technically, this is all the same things that the Multigroom is. It can be a clipper, body groomer. It has shaving attachments, it has incredible trimming options, and that's actually what I love the most about it. It is that minutia. It is that ability to customize the length of what you want and those small details. This device is going to be with you for anywhere from 3 to 10 years. You want that range of options because over that potential decade, how many times are you going to try a new facial hairstyle and need customization out of a device, right? One thing that's great about it is that it pairs down all those different attachment heads that the Philips Norelco devices have. It really streamlines things. So with this device, there are just 2 attachments. This smaller one gets you from 0 to 10 in those 0.5 millimeter increments, or you can attach this longer one and get from 10.5 to 20 in those 0.5 millimeter increments. So then you can use this for clipping or trimming in longer beards or in your hair. It is so easy because everything is managed just on the belly of the device here. So you do get the detail trimmer, you get the T-blade trimmer for all the straight lines, you get the foil shaver, which you know I really love. And then you also have a body attachment where the teeth are a little closer together so they're not going to nick and tug you in those more sensitive areas in particular. And if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm a sucker for a carrying case, so I love this one. It is compact, it is sturdy. So the charge time on this one it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio. It's a 2.5-hour charge time for about 3 hours of juice. The 3 hours is pretty accurate. I have tested that. Now this one is also fully waterproof. You can use it in the shower if you must. It's also got some graduated beard combs for either your cheek lines or around your ears, and a nose hair trimmer. Now look, this one is usually about $30 more expensive than the Philips Norelco Series 9000. So to me, I guess I still have to give the edge to the 9000 for all the reasons I mentioned earlier. But I think you could do really well with this device. It's going to last you a long time. It comes with a 2-year warranty. I think it's great if you want that ultra precision, which is something I really value. For the extra 30 bucks, I can't say with certainty that it's the better option compared to the Philips Norelco 9000 and potentially even compared to the Philips Norelco 7000, which is half of its price. But you can do a lot of great stuff with this device. So I really did think that it was worth shouting out because I do think it is the best competition for the Philips Norelco Multigroom options. Again, I think that the perfect value of everything would definitely be the Multigroom 7000. Still, I think the additional 30 bucks is well spent on that upgrade to the 9000. I will leave that to you. Links to all of them below. Also below, please comment, have you used any of these? Do you have a trimmer that you swear by? Is there one that you love for X, Y, or Z reason? Please let me know. I consider all of this research for me, and I want all of this to be a conversation around the topic at hand. Again, you can subscribe to the Blueprint newsletter at grooming.tips. You can also click the link below in the description. Please thumbs up if you like this, subscribe to our channel if you like this, follow us on Instagram if you like this, go buy one of these damn trimmers if you like this. Thanks for listening, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.